Hey, what's happening, guys? So, I just filmed a video for about 20 odd minutes and realised that for whatever reason it's not recorded. So, after a good start so far, I apologise for the lack of videos this week, or last week rather. I did say that I was going to do videos and blah blah blah, and I said all this stuff and everything else and made all these promises, but I've had a few things going on, as is daily life. But basically, my stuff that I would pick out of the attic and stuff like that, I don't have access to it at the moment, because of one thing or another. But there will be an update on that soon anyway. So what I thought I'd do today is I'm going to do 2 videos in one go. Today is Wednesday. I'll be releasing this particular video, what I'm doing right now. It's not a collections video, it's something a little bit different. And then I'll be filming straight after doing my pickups video, and that'll be released on Friday. So at least this week I'll be able to get the videos out. But yeah, I apologise for what it looks like at the minute, because I would usually be sat obviously over here. My sofa's been moved for bits that have been done over there, and I just can't be asked to move it back, to be honest. So I apologise for looking all super duper casual. I feel like I should have like a pipe or something and like a monocle. Sat here like, anyway, so what I thought I'd do today with this crudely written list is basically just talk about stuff. 2 things mainly. So basically, the first one I thought I'd do is any game, any platform. So if you could have any game from on any platform, or from any platform, however you want to look at it, readily available to you on your console of choice. So what I mean by that is, for example, I know that obviously re-released certain games, get put out on pretty much every platform or whatever, or they do remasters, or they do collections like Midway and Capcom and stuff like that. What I mean is, so for example, I don't have a Commodore 64, but one of my first ever consoles was a Commodore 64, and I absolutely loved Chucky Egg. And where is Chucky Egg now? So I'd love to be able to switch on my PS4, and then along with Pac-Man that I've got and Dig Dug and a couple of other bits and pieces, is to literally pull up Chucky Egg and play Chucky Egg. I know that people are like purists and stuff and say, oh no, you have to have it on this, and in a way I'm like that as well. You know, I wouldn't fork out some of the money that I fork out for games if I wasn't like that myself, but sometimes you kind of just have to take what you can get. I'm not really into a Retron or anything like that, but like, you know, the Retron 5 and stuff like that. I don't really want that. I mean, if I had to, or if I come across something that was cheap or something, then maybe, yeah, but I'd rather have the original thing. So Chucky Egg for me is one of my first things that came to mind. I love the Dizzy games as well, but one of the main ones that I loved was Dizzy Down the Rapids, and also, I think it's Treasure Island Dizzy. It's the one where basically you basically go off a plank, walk the plank from a pirate ship, and you go down to the bottom and in the sea or whatever, and you have to use the bubbles and ledges and stuff to jump up. And I really like that game. Had all the other Dizzy games and stuff as well, but they're the main 2 that I actually enjoyed playing, because the first ever Dizzy game was just stressful as anything. It's just it's not really, as you would say, enjoyable. I have got it on the Mega Drive, Fantastic Dizzy, which is basically what that is. It's alright. But yeah, those 2 Dizzy games. Jet Set Willy and Trolley Wally, to me they're in the same region as each other. They are both immensely hard and stressful, but I have fond memories of playing them. So yeah, those 2 games. Alien vs Predator, the arcade game, so the beat 'em up Capcom game. I loved playing it in the arcade on the sit down cab. Absolutely loved it. It's not really anything else you can say, to be honest. And I played as every character at some point or another, but obviously there's nothing like playing as a Predator. It's like, oh, it's amazing. Anyway, I'm hoping you guys can help me out with this next one. I don't know what the name of the game is actually called. The last time I played it, I think I was about 7 or 8. Now I have put / Robocop because the game is based, I think it might be by Data East, I don't know. And the game, so Robocop is on this list as well, the original arcade game, left to right game. But this was a game that was very similar, and you were basically like a ninja, almost like Shinobi or something like that. It was very slow paced. You literally like you would trundle when you walked, but then you were all in one color. I can't remember if you threw shurikens or whatever you threw. I don't know. But you were like, I think it was all like a blue or like a green or a red, possibly. I can't remember. But when you were hit by enemies that were coming left and right, your suit would basically start to disappear, and like you take battle damage basically, and you were a robot underneath, and then obviously eventually you just become a robot, like there's no skin or anything, and then obviously you die. I can't remember what it's called. I really like to know what it is. I've tried to look on Google, on YouTube and everything. I can't seem to find anything to do with it. I don't know why. So yeah, Robocop style, very slow paced, just left to right. Really good game. But yeah, the Aliens arcade game, literally 10p back in the day, wicked. I sound like I'm really old. I also look like I'm really old because of my hair and my beard. I'm not even that old. I'm only 34. And when I was going in the arcades and stuff, obviously this was like before my day, if you know what I mean. You know, that just things that that I played when I was little. And Mayhem in Monsterland on the Commodore 64. That is another game that I really like to play. I've actually seen a video recently on YouTube and I watched the playthrough of it. It's not amazing, but I have fond memories of it. So yeah, they're games that I would love to have on any platform. I appreciate that. I know that some of them have been like, you can download this, you can do this, you can get a ROM or whatever. I want to be able to literally go into a PlayStation store, because I'm a PlayStation guy, and literally buy it and have it on my console. I don't want to have to do jailbreak or anything at all. I want to be able to have these things physically. That also includes the beat 'em ups of The Simpsons, Turtles, X-Men, you know, all of those top-notch games. I know that like some of them have been released at some point or another, like for a very limited time, and like download only and stuff like that. And they are doing the new Turtles game, which looks wicked, which I will be getting. And then the next one is Gaming Regrets. So 3 stories, one of which, when I was younger, I was a Mega Drive kid, and just like with anybody, when you have a game, you play it constantly, and you constantly keep playing the game and completing it over and over again. The 2 games that I absolutely loved that I had, that my mum very kindly bought for me, was Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. And I had those, completed them many times, and we had a friend, an adult, who also had Mega Drive games, and he had quite a few, but he bought loads around and basically said, do you want to do some swaps? So I was like, yeah, that's cool. So I bought all my games downstairs, because as a kid you don't only pick out what the ones that you want to swap, you want to show off what you've got. And he says, okay, what do you want of mine? And I said, okay, Jurassic Park and Battletoads. I'd never played them before, and at the time obviously there's no internet or anything like that. So and he said, okay, so the only 2 games of yours that I want are Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. And at the time I was like, because I really liked them, but I completed them and everything else, and at the time you want something new. So I did swap, and I wish I didn't. I mean, I do have them back now. I actually bought them about 10-15 years ago ish, for like £2.50 each from a friend of mine, but I still have the Battletoads and Jurassic Park. So in a way it's kind of like a good thing, but when I look back on it before I got them back, it's like, I wish I didn't swap them now. But that's the least bad one. Another one is when I went to Toy Traders Collectors Fair, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. It seems like a long time ago now. It was the last one that they were doing at Castle Donington. I didn't know that at the time, and because they hadn't announced it, to be fair. But yeah, when I was walking around, there was only like really one person selling games, and he had a few unboxed Mega Drive games, stuff like that. He had Streets of Rage 3 in actual fact, and he wanted something like £80 for the unboxed version, and I don't really have a connection to it, so I was like, I'm not going to do that. But he also had a Dreamcast, and I bought an unboxed Talmit's Adventure off him because it was like £3. But then he offered me a Dreamcast. Oh, do you want a Dreamcast? I got a Dreamcast here for £30. I was like, and I would turn him down, and I kind of wish I didn't, even if it was just a case of having it and selling it on for bits. I don't know, but at the time I thought, well, he's charging £30, it must be worth, I don't know, like how much is it worth, sort of thing. And I didn't even reference it, and yeah, I turned him down. And then obviously all the hassle I've had of trying to get one for a decent price and everything, obviously one's just not absolutely yellowed to the max, it's just been more difficult. I'm slowly getting there, I'm getting bits and pieces for it, but yeah, that's another one. And the worst one is a friend of mine when I was about 22. I'm 34 now. However we came about it, he said he used to work at Degree Smiths when they were closing down where he worked or something or other. They were getting rid of like loads of different pieces of like media basically, and one of which was Super Metroid boxed, the big version. And he was like, "Oh, so I've got it. Do you have Super?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll have it," sort of thing. And in actual fact, I never played Super Metroid. Even at that point, I'd never played it. So to me, it wasn't like I was excited because it was a new thing, and I thought, "Oh, that's really cool" and everything. But then I wasn't like, "Wow, it's Super Metroid." And in actual fact, when he gave it to me for free. So maybe in the future, like, do me a swap or something. You know, if you come across something, I was like, "Oh, okay." And he gave it to me, and I looked on eBay. I remember looking on eBay, and the dearest one I saw on eBay at that time was about £20 to £25. It's like, well, it's not really worth getting rid of. And then, in actual fact, my girlfriend, but now wife, convinced me to get rid of a couple of my consoles and stuff. I was sworn never do that again. Never, never. I told her as well, don't even bother asking me. And I had a Nintendo NES that I got rid of, but to be fair, it was very flippant. It didn't really work properly. I only had a few games for it, and I'm like, I don't miss it. And I took Super Metroid with me, and then I said I wanted £25 for it, and I knew that I wouldn't get that, so I was willing to be knocked down, and I did get knocked down. But the guy tried to offer me something like £7 for it. I actually let it go for 15. But yeah, it's not worth £15 now. So I do have the cart. I have the cart only. I got it from CEX for something like £44 a few years ago when they started selling retro stuff. But I'd taken in loads of stuff, to be fair, so that was all voucher based. But yeah, that is a bad one. But yeah, if you guys, you know, what game would you like to just have on a console, legitimately on a console, you know, no like ROMs or anything like that, literally to have a game, any console, on any console, and also your gaming regrets. If you let me know down below, even if it's just one person, still interesting to see. I'm also going to film the other video right now, because I have my pickups right there, and that'll be released on Friday. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys.